Imagine spending your entire life believing you were born into the wrong family. Every success your neighbor enjoys feel like it should have been yours. Every tragedy in your own home feel like a proof that a fate made a terrible mistake. And what if that single belief slowly consumed your childhood, your relationships, and even your identity? Today's film isn't just about mystery, it's about obsession, memory, and the lies we tell ourselves to survive. And by the end, you will realize that the biggest twist isn't who has switched at birth, it is what that belief did to one man's entire life. Let's dive into the movie. The story centers on Thomas, who from the age of 8 became convinced that a fire at the hospital on the day of his birth caused him to be switched with another baby. And that other child is Alfred, the wealthy boy living next door. Thomas grows up believing Alfred inherited the family, the opportunity, and the future that should have belonged to him. Whether this belief is true is never the point. What matters is that Thomas never stopped believing it. That conviction shapes every relationship, every disappointment, and every dream he has. Thomas escapes into fantasy. He imagines himself as a fearless secret agent, someone capable of setting the world right. And those daydreams aren't just entertainment. They are his way of coping with a reality he feels has betrayed with him. He also captivated by Alfred's sister Alice. To him, she represents warmth, beauty, and perhaps the life he believes was stolen. When Alice disappears, Thomas loses more than someone he admired. The even deepen his feeling that happiness is always slipping away, reinforcing his belief that fate has been unfair from very beginning. Instead of letting the life move forward, he became increasingly angered to the idea that everything would have been different if the babies had never been switched. As an adult, Thomas worked as survivor, leading what appears to be an ordinary life. But beneath that surface, the same childhood belief continues to influence him. Then he encounters a woman named Elvia. She reminds him of Alice. An emotional connection strips up memory he has never truly been resolved. There is another twist. Elvia is married to Alfred. To Thomas, this seems yet like another example of Alfred living the life that should have been his. And the film invites us to question whether the Thomas sees reality as it or through the lens of decades of longing and resentment. And one of the film's most compelling ideas is that memory isn't objective. We don't simply remember the past, we interpret it. Thomas' memories are colored by regret, envy, and hope. The more he reflects on his life, the more his personal story becomes intertwined with the fantasy of the switched babies. The audience is left wondering if you spend long enough believing a story about yourself doesn't become your reality. Whether or not the switch ever happened become less important than the fact that Thomas has allowed that possibility to define who he is. In the old age, Thomas looks back on the decades behind and asks a painful question. What if I spent my entire life chasing something that was never mine? He decides to seek out Alfred at one last time, hoping to reclaim what he believes was stolen from him. By this point, however, the journey is no longer about proving who belonged to which family. It's about comforting the choice he made because of that belief. The closer he gets to Alfred, the more audience realizes that the real conflicts has always been internal. And the ending doesn't offer a simple answer about whether the babies were truly switched. Instead, it asks a more profound question. how much of our identity is shaped by the stories we tell ourselves. Thomas spent decades measuring his life against has an imagined version of what could have been. In doing so, he overlooks the life he actually had. The film, The Toto the Hero, isn't ultimately about solving a mystery. It's about regret, memory, envy, and the danger of letting a simple, unverified belief becomes the foundation of the entire existence. And the film suggests that the greatest tragedy isn't the losing the life you think you deserve, it's failing to live the life you were given. And that's what makes the film The Tito the Hero such a memorable and thought provoking film. And in the final moments, the title The Tito the Hero gains a completely different meaning. Being a hero isn't about defending someone else, it's about overcoming yourself. Thomas dreamed of becoming a legendary hero all of his life. Yet the one battle he never truly win is the battle against his own obsession. And by the time he begins to understand this, most of his life is already behind him. It's a quite emotional ending that stays with you after the credit rolls. And that's all about this movie. And thanks for watching.